skip town, see my wrist drown. Everybody wanna me for benefits now, man. I wish my.
What is good, everybody? My name is the Coaster King, and today I'm going to go through the next roller coaster to be removed from every single Six Flags park. I'm going to work away from the bottom of the chain to the top and go through each park and say what ride I think is most likely to be removed next. So let's get right into it. The first park is Frontier City. I think they're going to get rid of their Diamondback roller coaster. This is one half of the Lightning Loops at Six Flags Great Adventure. It's an extremely old ride. It's rough, and it's just not overall a good ride at all. I don't hear any good things about it. And they could definitely replace it with something a little better, hopefully, if they even want to replace it. Rides like these are super old. They're going to take a high maintenance cost as well. So that definitely is going to hurt the park, and they're definitely just going to get rid of this one. I think it first. Next, Six Flags, or actually just Great Escape. Great Escape, I think, is gonna get rid of Steamin Demon. This ride looks brutal. Everyone I've heard of review this ride says it's brutal. I think this is gonna be one of the rides that gets removed. Another one I do see is their bobsled ride, but I think this Steamin Demon is more likely just because it's not a good ride. Next up, I think for Six Flags Discovering Kingdom, they're going to get rid of their Boomerang Coaster Coaster. This is just a boomerang, and there's not too much to say about it. These parks don't like to take the high maintenance of these rides. They're usually not too popular, and these rides are just not that good in general. So I think Discovery Kingdom would be the first one, or one of the first parks on this list that's going to get rid of their Boomerang. They could probably replace it with something. I feel like that new ride, the Harley Quinn, is kind of similar to Boomerang, does the same thing. So I think they're gonna get rid of this ride first. As for Ronde, I think they're gonna get rid of their Boomerang, Le Boomerang, or whatever it's called. This is the oldest boomerang out there. Not a good ride. Once again, one of those boomerangs that they can get rid of it and replace with something a little better in the future. For Six Flags America, I think they're gonna get rid of their Batwing. This is a Vekoma Flying Dutchman. It's always down. The ride is always broken, and this has been rumored to be removed forever. I think they're gonna remove it and replace it with a smaller ride, maybe like a 40 free spin or something like that. This ride is just such high maintenance costs and never open that I think it's very likely to be removed in the near future. As for Six Flags Mexico, I think they're going to get rid of their boomerang as well. This is a recurring theme. They're getting rid of the boomerangs. Parks around the world are constantly getting rid of these old Vekoma rides. They're just not good anymore. They ride rough, and they're not good rides, to be honest at all. For Six Flags St. Louis, I think they're going to get rid of their Aero Looper Ninja. I've never heard any good reviews about this ride. It's just not one of those rides that the park would want, or enthusiasts would want, or even GP would want. I couldn't imagine it's the most popular ride in the park. It's just one of those rides that it takes up a decent amount of land, and it's just not good at all. I feel like they can replace it with something better, maybe like a Raptor, and that would be a great addition to St. Louis. For Fiesta, Texas, I actually think you get rid of their Premier Rides launch coaster, Poltergeist. I went on a clone of this at Six Flags America, and it's just not that good of a ride. I feel like Fiesta Texas could replace it with something a lot cooler of a launch coaster, maybe like a West Coast Racers type ride, a newer premier launch coaster than this. These are rough, and in general not too popular. For Six Flags over Georgia, I think they're gonna get rid of Scorcher. I don't think they're gonna get rid of George Scorcher. I think they're gonna, as I've said a couple times now in past videos, I think they're gonna convert it to a floorless relatively soon. It's a cheaper addition, and it wouldn't cost too much to the park. Stand-up coasters are getting out of date. People are definitely not in love with stand-up coasters anymore. So I think the George Scorcher conversion is definitely going to come in the near future, probably within the next 1 or 2 years. For Six Flags New England, I think they're going to get one of the two boomerangs out of the park. I think Goliath is going to come first. This one it requires more maintenance, and it's less popular than Flashback, which is their other boomerang that stands right next to it. Goliath is not a popular ride. It definitely hurts a lot to ride it, and I think they're going to get rid of this ride first. As to what's going to go there, I can see a Power Splash going there, maybe like a Max Force or Premier Rides launch roller coaster would be a great fit in that area. For Six Flags Darien Lake, I think they're gonna get an RMC conversion on their wooden coaster Predator. It's just a big ride and definitely needs the RMC treatment. I think it's like a DIN Corp or something like that. It's just not that good of a ride. No one talks about it. It'd be a great ride for RMC to RMC. I think it'd be a good addition to the park. The park doesn't have anything like an RMC, so yeah. For Six Flags Over Texas, I think they're gonna get rid of their bobsled La Vibora. This ride, when I went there, was just decent. It was kind of there. Takes up a huge plot of land as well as prime real estate. I feel like they can replace it with something a lot better, maybe like a Raptor, and it would fit much better than the La Vibora would. Now for Six Flags Great Adventure, I think they're gonna get rid of their Green Lantern ride. This ride is not popular. It's a stand-up. A lot of people say that it's going to get a conversion to a floorless. I don't think so because we already have a floorless in Bizarro. So I feel like they're just going to get rid of the ride and call it a day. It's in great real estate, so they can replace it with a better ride and definitely have a overall better park. This ride never has long lines. It's not popular with the GP or enthusiasts, so this is one of those ones that's going to go. For Six Flags Great America, I think they're going to RMC American Eagle, their giant dueling wooden coaster. This has been rumored forever, so I think this is going to eventually come in the next 4 or 5 years, and they're going to RMC it, and this is going to be the next ride being removed. Simple as that. For Six Flags Magic Mountain, this has been rumored forever. I think they're going to give it a Viper next. Viper's not a popular ride. Viper's not a good ride, so I think they're going to get rid of it and replace it with something a lot better. I'm not a big fan of air loopers, so Viper would not be a good bucket list coaster for me. So I just wouldn't mind it being removed, and I'm sure a lot of GP enthusiasts wouldn't as well. That's it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know what videos you want me to do next in the comment section. Be good.
I'ma skip town, see my wrist down. Everybody wanna me for benefits now, man. I wish my